Hello everyone, and welcome to the third and final video for our toe up sock. So far we did the toe, then we did the foot, waist yarn, and leg, and in this video we're going to work on our cuff. You have so many different choices when it comes to cuffs, but most cuffs are done with ribbing. So here I have a 1x1 ribbing, which is just a knit one, purl one, and that's what we're going to do in our sock. But you can also do a 2x2 ribbing or any other combination of knits and purls that you like. You also have a choice when it comes to length. I like a 20 round cuff, but you can go anywhere from 10, 20, 30. You could even do just 5 rounds. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to work my 1x1 ribbing cuff. So I'm going to start with knit 1 and then bring my yarn forward and purl 1. And I'm just going to carry on doing this for 20 rounds. Once I've reached the middle, I'm going to go ahead and place my final red marker right here on the row below so that I can start counting my rounds for the cuff. Carry on with your ribbing, either knit 1, purl 1, or another type of ribbing until you reach the desired length. I will see you when we get to 20 rounds. The 20 rounds for the cuff is all done, and now we're going to start our stretchy bind off. It's really important that you bind off super stretchy, because if you don't, the cuff will be really hard to get around your heel and it won't get around your calf. There are so many ways to do stretchy bind offs, but the one I'm going to show you today is pretty simple. We're just going to work 2 stitches and then knit them together. Whenever we work the stitches, we're going to work them as they are, so either a knit or a purl. Whenever we knit them together, we're always going to knit them through the back loop. So let me show you what I mean. To start, we're going to work 2 stitches. So I'm going to do a knit and then a purl. Knit and then purl. Keep these pretty loose. Now I'm going to work these 2 stitches together, but first I need to put my yarn in the back. No matter what kind of ribbing you're doing, you need to work your stitches and then put your yarn in the back for this next step. I'm going to knit these 2 stitches together through the back loop. So to do that, take your left hand needle and put it into these 2 stitches so that your left hand needle comes to the front. It's a little tricky to do at the beginning. So my left hand needle goes into those 2 stitches and comes to the front. Then I'm able to use my yarn to knit through the back. So wrap around that needle, pull through, and those 2 stitches are knit together. So now I'm just going to work 1 more stitch. So this next one is a knit. I'm going to knit it. I've got my 2 stitches, and I'm going to knit these together through the back. So slip my left hand needle into both of those stitches, wrap around, pull through both stitches, and they're knit together. So now you're seeing my next stitch is a purl. So I'm going to bring my yarn forward to purl. But whenever I work the stitches together, I'm always going to knit. So I'm going to move my yarn in the back, put my left hand needle in through the front, and knit these 2 together. So what we're starting to get is sort of it's a bind off look, but since we're knitting and purling these stitches beforehand, it's giving us some extra stretch. All right, so I'm going to keep working that all the way around. Work 1 more stitch in pattern and then knit them together through the back loop, making sure you always stick with whether the next stitch is a knit or a purl. Then whenever you work them together, always move the yarn back and knit them together through the back loop. Once you get down to the very last stitch, you can just draw that loop up to make it bigger, cut your yarn, and weave the end through. Just pull it tight to close. So here we have our super stretchy bind off. It is really great because it clings back nicely, but it will still stretch over your foot and your heel. So that's all for our cuff and our stretchy bind off. The next step is going to be the afterthought heel with waist yarn, and you can find that tutorial linked below. The tutorial is actually for either a cuff down or toe up sock. What you'll do is just make sure you have your sock oriented so that it's going toe up, like the direction that we knit it. And whenever you pick up your stitches, you're always going through the right leg of each stitch. So just follow that video tutorial and you'll be good to go with your completed sock.